There is nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not missing some secret ingredient. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, the visualizing, the affirming, the staying positive, and still nothing seems to shift, it's not because you're failing. It's because you've been handed two completely opposite instructions and told to follow both. On one hand, you're told to visualize your dream life, feel as if it's done, step into the version of you who already has it. But on the other hand, you're told to let go, detach, surrender, stop wanting it so much. And now you're stuck in the in-between, wondering if wanting your desire too much is actually pushing it away. That confusion alone creates resistance. And that's not your fault. This video isn't going to tell you to just let go. It's not going to guilt you for wanting deeply or make you feel like desire is a problem. Because it's not. Desire is divine. This video is your turning point. The one that clears the fog, not adds to it. So if you've been mentally exhausted trying to detach from something you love, this will finally make it all make sense. The phrase let go has been so deeply misused in the manifestation community that it's almost become dangerous. It's been twisted into meaning. Stop caring, stop wanting, stop thinking about it. And so what do most people do? They try to emotionally suppress their desire. They try to convince themselves they're okay without it, while silently aching inside. They pretend they don't care, but they do. They care deeply. And that pretending causes a split inside. One part of you wants it. The other part of you is trying to shut that desire down. That inner conflict doesn't manifest. It paralyzes. Neville never said to let go of your desire. In fact, he taught the opposite. He taught that desire is the sign that what you want is already yours in imagination, and that it is seeking you as much as you are seeking it. He said that desire is God speaking through you. So letting go, in Neville's terms, doesn't mean letting go of the thing. It means letting go of not having it. Letting go of the identity that lacks it. Letting go of the version of you who is still waiting, hoping, doubting, checking, needing. When you let go of that, you return to the only state that creates, the state of the wish fulfilled. And that's what most people miss. Living in the end isn't a mental exercise. It's not just imagining a scene once and then forgetting about it. It's about moving into the identity of the version of you who already has the thing. It's a shift in self. It's not passive. It's not about hoping. It's a knowing, a being. Imagine this. You've been waiting for a text from someone you love. You're refreshing your phone, trying to be high vibe, watching angel number videos, pulling tarot cards for reassurance. But deep down, you're unsettled. Because your identity in that moment is someone who's still waiting. And your reality reflects that. Now picture this instead. You close your eyes, and you imagine a simple scene. Maybe you're lying on the couch next to them, your head on their chest, scrolling through a movie list. It's normal. It's done. There's no chasing, no needing. In that scene, you're no longer the version of you who's waiting for a text. You are already with them. That scene becomes your new truth. That's what living in the end means. It's not about forcing the outside world to change. It's about surrendering fully to the new identity within you, the one who already has what she used to beg for. It's not fake. It's not delusional. It's how reality works. The outer world moves to match your inner assumptions, not the other way around. If it feels like you're stuck, if your desire hasn't moved yet, it's not because you didn't visualize hard enough or affirm enough times. It's because a part of you is still waiting instead of being. And here's the catch: waiting feels innocent. You think, I know it's coming. I'm just waiting for it to arrive. But spiritually, waiting is the same as not having. It's subtle but powerful, because waiting is a state. And you can only receive from the state of already having, not from the state of waiting for it to show up. This is why letting go of waiting is so powerful. It's not about giving up. It's about dropping the identity of the one who doesn't have it yet. And that can be hard, especially when the 3D reality in front of you keeps reminding you of the absence. But Neville said, dare to assume you are what you want to be, and you shall compel every circumstance to conform to that assumption. So the real work is not controlling the outside world. It's holding the assumption long enough for the outside world to catch up. Because it will. But it only can when you stop shifting back to the version of you who is still hoping, still doubting, still checking. And that brings us to the next piece. This part matters. Because so many people have been spiritually gaslit into thinking that loving their desire too much is the problem. They're told that wanting it is resistance. That obsession will block it. That needing it is desperate. But here's the truth, you don't have to let go of what you love. You just need to stop identifying as the version of you who doesn't have it. Love your desire. Cherish it. Feed it with imagination. See it as already yours. Neville taught us to feel it real, to enter into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and to dwell there. That's not detachment. That's intimacy. That's union. That's embodying the version of you who already has it. Think about this in terms of money. If you're constantly trying to manifest money, but you feel like someone who is broke and stressed, your outer world will reflect that. But when you begin to be the version of you who is financially safe, who feels supported, who spends and receives with ease, then life moves to match you, not the other way around. So no, you don't have to let go of the dream. You just let go of the version of you who's still dreaming. Manifestation isn't about chasing. It's not about working hard in the 3D to earn what you want. It's about becoming the version of you who has it now, and living from that identity. The world will bend to meet you when you stop trying to bend yourself to meet the world. You don't need to check for signs. You don't need to convince yourself that you don't care. You don't need to wait until you're perfectly detached before your desire can come in. You only need to return, again and again, to the version of you who already has it. That version of you is peaceful, not because she's numb or indifferent, but because she knows it's done. She doesn't need to suppress her desire. She allows it to exist fully because she knows it's already hers. Her job is to be, not to force. Neville's teachings aren't meant to stress you out. They're meant to liberate you. You are not here to suffer in the not having. You are here to dwell in the having, and let that inner dwelling create the outer world. Here's your moment, the shift, the place where it all clicks. You don't have to stop wanting. You don't have to give up. You don't have to chase or detach or not care as some kind of weird manifestation strategy. You only need to stop identifying as the person who doesn't have it. That's it. That's the whole game. You become the version of you who has it, and you let the world rise to meet her. Living in the end isn't about pretending. It's about returning. Returning to the truth within you that says, it's already done. It's already mine. And I don't need to wait anymore because I am her now. This doesn't mean your 3D reality will change overnight. But it does mean that the moment you shift internally, the process has already begun. The bridge of incidents will unfold. Circumstances will reorganize. And it won't be because you manipulated the outside. It'll be because you became the inside. So stop waiting. Stop hoping. Stop trying to suppress the thing you love. Just return. Return to the scene in imagination where it's already yours. Return to the feeling of it being normal. Return to the identity of having. That's the only place manifestation happens from. And you are already allowed to live there. If you're wondering how to stay in the state of the wish fulfilled when your 3D still shows the opposite, when they haven't called, when the job hasn't come, when the money feels far away, when your heart still aches, that's where the real power comes in. That's the next level. And it's not about being a robot who never feels anything. It's about becoming emotionally sovereign. It's about knowing what's true, even when the outside world hasn't caught up yet. Let's be honest. When you're trying to live in the end and your phone is dry, or your bank balance is low, or you feel that deep loneliness hit, it's easy to spiral. It's easy to think, it's not working. I must be doing something wrong. That moment, right there, that's the test. That's the moment most people abandon the wish fulfilled. They fall back into the old identity, the one who is still waiting, still doubting, still wondering, when will it finally happen for me? But this is where your power lies. The people who actually see their manifestations move quickly and naturally are the ones who choose to remain in the end even when the middle looks chaotic. They see the lack, they feel the pain, but they don't let it become their new assumption. They feel the emotion, yes, but they don't become the version of them who has been rejected or left out or forgotten by the universe. Instead, they pause, they breathe, they remind themselves, this is just the echo of an old assumption. This is not where I live anymore. Feeling it real when triggered doesn't mean bypassing the emotion. It means feeling it without letting it take over your identity. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to feel frustrated. You are allowed to want comfort. But the key is, even in those moments, you don't shift back into the state of I don't have it. You stay anchored in the state of it's already mine. So what does that look like? Practically, it means the version of you who's manifesting love. When they don't text back, she doesn't spiral into I must not be wanted. She may feel sad, but she affirms within, I am loved. I am chosen. This is just the bridge. And she returns to that end scene over and over again until it becomes more real to her than the silence. It means the version of you who's manifesting money. When a bill shows up or a payment delays, she doesn't collapse into fear. She might feel a pang of stress, but she reminds herself, I am provided for. My supply is unlimited. And she imagines her bank notifications flooding in. She anchors into the version of her who is abundant, even if the physical proof hasn't landed yet. It's not delusion. It's discipline. Emotional discipline. This is what Neville meant when he said you must persist in the assumption. Not just when it feels good. Not just when you're high vibe. But especially when the world contradicts it. Because that's when the shift really cements. That's when your new self-concept takes root. You are not supposed to suppress yourself. That creates more resistance. You are allowed to have an emotional wave and still hold the state. You are allowed to cry and still believe it's done. You are allowed to feel discouraged and still come back to your imagination. In fact, it's your willingness to return over and over again that creates your transformation. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be emotionless. You just need to choose the new identity more often than you choose the old one. That's it. One moment at a time. One assumption at a time. One inner scene at a time. So let this be the moment where you stop judging your emotions. Where you stop thinking that a bad day means your manifestation is ruined. It's not. You're human. You're allowed to feel. But you're also powerful. And you get to choose. So yes, the 3D might still trigger you. But you are not who you used to be. You are no longer the one who waits and hopes and wonders. You are now the version of you who knows it's already done. And from that place, you can walk through anything. Tell me below, what are you choosing to assume is already done today? Let this be your declaration, your turning point, your line in the sand. I'm reading every comment. I will meet you with another video. Happy manifesting.